Hi everybody, it's Michelle Olson at Greenlight Coaching, and I have a tip I want to share with you about assumptions you may be living with about your work life. There's a concept in organizational behavior called the psychological contract, and the concept is based in the idea that we have promises, expectations, beliefs, and assumptions that we live with between you and your employer, or you and your team, or you and your manager, the people that you interact with at work. And what's important about this is that you may be living in the psychological contract and it's not serving you well. So the contract itself typically starts at the moment you start interviewing for the organization, at the moment you start speaking to your manager, HR department, fellow colleague, potential colleagues, and so forth. And in that time, you're teaching your employer how you're going to show up for work, how you're going to show up for any kind of conflict or difference, and they're showing you as well through the interactions that you're having with them. So what's important to note here is that if you feel like the work you're doing in the world you love, but the organization you're not so certain about, then I've come up with a set of inventory questions to help you start to discern that a little bit. So question one, let me just scroll down here, is what are the expectations of my employer? So just note, what are the expectations of my employer? Are they realistic for my working energy? And what I mean by that is when the employer's expectations meets the expectations of your energy, you have a synergy. But if the expectations are higher than the energy you have, then you often feel drained, overwhelmed, stuck, or paralyzed. So are they realistic? Are those expectations realistic for your work energy? What are the values of the organization you're working at? And here's something that's important. There's values that organizations put out for branding purposes, for marketing purposes. And those values are to attract prospects or clients, whatever industry you're in. Then there's the values that exist within the internal culture. Those are the values I'm speaking to. Are the values that you see in the existing culture aligned with your personal values? Next, what boundaries do you need to create to feel satisfied? If you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling stressed out, there's probably boundaries that you need to create at work. So what are they? You probably already have a sense of them. Write them down. And this is an important one for females. Are you being driven by the need to be liked? Are you pushing yourself more because you want to be liked, but draining yourself, draining your energy, draining your vitality because of that? So you're actually saying yes to being liked, but then saying no to feeling vitality or feeling energized by your work. So if you're being driven by being liked, then where can you say no or delegate? Where in your current organization is that possible? Now, after you've gone through these questions, if you find that, yes, the possibility of change is there, I could actually renegotiate my psychological contract with my organization, then this is my suggestion to you. With the inventory, write down what changes need to happen, make that announcement to the people you work with, your manager, your coworkers, and then here's the key. Make sure that you honor your own change. Make sure that you honor your own boundaries. There's that saying that we teach people how to treat us. And so if you announce that change, that's great. What the people around you are going to be looking for is, how serious is she? She really going to stand up and hold those changes for her own accountability? So really be black and white about that in the beginning. On the other side of things, if you find that you do this inventory and you go, oh my gosh, there's no way I can renegotiate the psychological contract, it's not going to work on the employer side of things, then I'm going to encourage you to look for new work, especially if you feel like the work you're doing you love, the actual work, but it's not in right alignment with the employer organization you're working with. And so a key element to this is when you start to look at new work, make sure that during the interview process, you're interviewing your new potential employer as much as they're interviewing you. Bring your best forward, but make sure your best is your authentic self. So often we can go into job searches and go, I really want this job, I really want this job. Really make sure that you want the job and show up who you are. Be your best authentically. That's going to help you align with more purpose work. So hope this tip was helpful today. Please comment below or send me an email. I love hearing from you. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.